welcome. Let's go ahead and start. Welcome to the Crew Apps training as we're going Google here. I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what's going to happen Monday, what am I going to have access to, how that's going to work. We'll try to answer all those questions and as well as get you up to speed so that Monday you can hit the ground running. So really appreciate you taking the time to do this beforehand. I think it'll really help. Just as now that everyone's here, if you have questions, you can put them in the chat window. So Brittany's right next to me. She's monitoring the chat window. Send those to Steve Pierce. So there's a Steve Pierce 2. That's me. I'm not actually looking at the chat window. I'm going to focus on the window and demonstrating some of the stuff. So she's going to watch and make sure we get questions. I can answer those. And okay, great. So she sent that to everyone. All right. So I would love to be able to hear from all of you why or what you could envision happening because we're going to Google. So I'm excited about the possibility of how this could really speed up ministry for you, help you connect with more students or volunteers or people you're ministering to, how you can collaborate with more people, you can work together, really make something that's flexible to get the job done and to do it all securely. So what are the Crew Apps? We'll talk more about these, what's going to happen, but here's Crew Apps Toolbox. The two we're going to focus on today is Crew Mail and Crew Calendar. So this is what most people think of as Mail Context Calendar, but there's so much more in this Crew Mail. Contacts are part of that, but we have Google Hangouts. We can chat, we can video chat. We'll show you those. Really exciting, and everything is fully integrated. Crew Drive is one of the pieces that I think is going to really drive our collaboration. So most of you have probably already used Google Docs, but the way this is all integrated, we can really quickly and easily share and real-time edit documents and work together. That's exciting. And then Calendar. And then there's also Crew Sites. Now, Crew Sites is exciting because it's made for teams. And so if you want to just have all your information in one spot, you could have the calendar centralized there, get everything for your team right there. It really helps you keep yourself on the same page, literally. And then there's Google+, which is like Facebook, but specific to this. And so you could leverage it for other areas, but you could also just leverage it within Crew Apps. So that is just kind of big picture. We're going to focus on Crew Mail and Crew Calendar for this training. So I really want Monday for you to have a feel of how do you organize your inbox and how do you create calendars? How do you function? How do you get your job done right away? So that's what we're doing today. This is kind of a cool picture of the possibility of what can happen. You can have emails from this one person, see the email chain. You could video chat with this person or text chat with someone else or video chat. And you can look at the history of everything with Barbara in this case, including shared documents you have. So really neat that in one page you can collaborate together. And we're going to have a staff directory, so you can quickly talk with any staff anywhere, see if they're online, get an answer right away, really speed things up. So that's exciting. Google Docs, you can live edit all together, which I'm assuming a lot of you have done. And then also you can share this out. You have full control of who you're going to share this with and who can edit it or just view it. All that power is delegated to you. You can get it anywhere you go, any device. It's secure, and I'd actually add reliable and fast. It's no longer on one server in one place. It's now distributed in Google servers around the world. They're actually on specific enterprise servers. They're not on the same servers that the free Gmail is on. So it's more secure and backed up and all of that. So that's exciting. So before I get a little further, let me, I guess, just briefly share about myself. I've been on staff 10 years, and I started in catalytic ministry in Nebraska for 2 years, and then I actually went to our headquarters in Orlando, and I'm working on our technology team. I did PeopleSoft for a while, made sure we had paychecks twice a month. My paycheck was in there too, so I was very motivated. And then now I work on one of our technology teams, and I'm really excited because my job is to make sure that we make technology tools that help you guys do your job. And the switch to Google actually it came about because of that. We surveyed our staff, and we found that 40% of us use Gmail and they weren't using Exchange. And then we found out is they were using it because they wanted the collaboration. They wanted to be flexible and work with students and have it work on all their devices and operating system well. So tons of reasons. Almost half of our staff had already switched, so it made sense for us to switch also, and so we could all be on the same page. So if you're like me, you're excited or maybe feel the pain of this happening, but still this is a good thing. We want to do this. How do I move? How do I accomplish this Monday? And so we made a page dedicated to the moving process. Like, how do you unpack your box? How do you settle in? And so I'm showing a screenshot of it here. So Monday you can go here, you can download Chrome, sign in at mail.cru.org. That's where you're going to go Monday to access Cru apps. It'll show you how to connect to your Android phone, to your iPhone, your Windows phone, or things that weren't migrated from a personal Google account, or if you had some stuff offline on Mac or on your Windows, everything you need there. So the web URL for this is cruapps.cru.org, cruapps.cru.org. So if you wrote down two websites, I'd write down mail.cru.org. That's where you're going to go Monday, not today, but Monday. That will be one of the first places you go. And then all the how-to settle in, all the one-time type stuff you're going to do is here at cruapps.cru.org. So those would be two sites, invaluable for you to have everything you need for Monday morning. And then a third site, you're going to have, you can't get to it now, but Monday you'll be able to go click on More at the black bar that'll be at the top of your screen and go down to Google Apps Training. And if you don't learn anything from the rest of this webinar, this is gold right here. In fact, I watched the videos that are right here in this Google Apps Training on how to figure out how to train you guys today. So it's top quality. You can pause it, you can rewind, fast forward. You can select a specific, if you don't have to watch the whole thing, you can just watch what you want. That's available 24 hours a day to all of our staff there. So basically what I'm going to show you today, but you can do it anytime and pause and fast forward. So you'll have that available. So those are three resources that I think will really help you out. And like, for instance, the Google Drive training, if you haven't used that a lot, I think that's going to be one of the biggest productivity boosters for our organization. It's like a 27-minute video training there. So in half an hour, you could be totally up to speed. So I'm excited that we are all going to get to use the same tool set. In fact, I found a study that shared that if in an organization, if everyone used the same tool, the same set of tools, you're 20 to 30% more effective. So I'm excited for us to experience that. It doesn't even have to be the best set of tools. It just has to be the same set. But I think Google Apps, those what we're calling Cru apps, that are owned by us, that we are leveraging to do ministry, I think it's the best tool. And I think I'm excited to see 20 to 30% more people getting to have a relationship with God and experience His unconditional love and acceptance for them, and get to be part of what God's doing. So that gets me excited. Now that's going to be a battle. First off, it's going to be hard for us because we got to change to leverage this. So I just want to acknowledge that moving's hard. Then it's something that you use every day. It's like one of your main tools you do ministry. That's even harder. And then of course you just throw in that it's technology. That makes it the hardest. So this is tough. A motto I've started to develop in life is growth is hard and painful, but totally worth it. I want to grow. I don't want to stay where I am, but it's hard. And I think this is one of those things. It's going to be painful to move. Even if you're already on Google on a free Gmail account, you still got to move your stuff. Even if it's the same house, you still got to pack your stuff up, unbox it, and get settled back in. So it's tough. But I really think it's going to be worth it. And so just to remember, this is a spiritual battle, and we have tools to do that, specifically walking in the power of the Holy Spirit. So I just want to pray right now to start, and then we're going to dive in. I'm going to try to turn on the fire hose here and give you content, but this is a spiritual battle. Satan would love nothing more than to stop more people coming to relationship with him, to stop us from working together, collaborating like never before. And so I just want to pray against what Satan might want to do. Dear God, thanks for these friends, partners in ministry, God, but people that they just want to serve you. They want to be pleasing to you. They want to do your will. And for some of them, email is just a means to an end. Some of them love technology, and this is a productivity tool in and of itself, and they're excited in different ways, God. But all that aside, I pray that you would use this for more people to come in relationship with you, that I pray against anything Satan would want to do, dividing us, or problems that might happen. God, I pray that we would walk in the power of the Holy Spirit. We'd be pleasing to you, and I pray that you would magnify this for your kingdom. So thanks. We love you. In your name, amen. All right. Well, let's do it. Monday morning, that's where you're going to sign in. And here is what it will look like. Switch over to my little training account here. So I am currently logged in as Frodo at Crew.org. Frodo Baggins. We have a whole Lord of the Rings theme here. You'll see as we made these to be able to train on. So this is what it's going to look like for you Monday morning. So I'll just give you your eyes a second to adjust to what you see. First off, there's no ads. Oh, it's exciting. This is Crew apps. Look, we even have our logo up here. This is administered by Crew. We have full rights. It's more secure. There's actually more features than the free Gmail. It's more secure. This is not free Gmail. This is Crew apps. It's administered by Crew, even though it's Google software. So the second thing I want you to kind of focus on over here is this gear in the upper right-hand corner. That is where we're going to do all of our settings. And since this is an intermediate course, we're going to turn on right away. We're going to turn on some things that are a little more advanced. So let's go ahead and do that. If you want to follow along in your own, you can. Although it might be interesting for you to flip back and forth between screens. So we'll see how this works. But if you click on Settings and go down to Settings, I'm going to select that. We're going to turn on 3 labs. So labs right across the top is labs. I'm going to click that. And I already have the 3 turned on right here. They are canned responses, preview pane, and undo send. So they're not going to be enabled for you right away. They'll be under available labs. And so you can just search for them. But this might be something you'll want to turn on Monday morning when you get in your Crew Apps account. Oh, and I should say, when I'm suggesting to follow along right now, you can't follow along in your Crew Apps account because it's not migrated yet, but you can on like a personal Gmail, a free Gmail account. So if you have one of those, sorry if that confused some of you, if you have one of those, you could follow along there. These things will be the same. So I searched for canned responses, preview pane, and undo send. So we'll reference those. Once you click enable, it will save changes will get highlighted, and it will bring you back to the inbox. And actually, too, if I'm going too fast or too slow, you can say go faster. Go ahead and send those chats to steve.pierce. Or Steve Pierce, I guess there's not a dot in the middle. That way we can kind of get a feedback since I feel like I'm just talking at my own computer. All right, so one more thing I want you to turn on, kind of advanced, and that is settings. It's called stars. Under general at the top, halfway down, I'm going to scroll just a little bit, are these stars. And so you're going to click 4 stars. Here's the default 4 stars that come on, and you could click and drag which ones you like. You can change their order. So you'll select those 4 stars, and then you go to the bottom and click Save Changes. Now, I had put back the same 4 stars I had before, so there's nothing for me to save. All right, we're back to the inbox. So you'll need that to do some of the things. So right now, let's dive in. Let me show you 2 ways you can check your email without leaving the inbox. And those are snippets and preview pane. Let's look at snippets right here. This is a snippet, I guess. Can I click and highlight? Nope, it brings it up. So this right here, where my mouse is, this is the snippet. Let's look at one that's a little more interesting. Here we go. Galadriel said, would you like to meet? And she said, hello, I will be in town for a few days and thought it'd be great for us to catch up. Are you free? So right there, I don't have to leave my inbox to be able to see that. Second way we can not leave your inbox view is this preview pane. You need the lab for this, but if you click on vertical split, so again, I clicked here and then vertical split, that will show kind of what you're used to in Outlook. And so I can either bring up a calendar invite or this message from Galadriel, would you like to meet? Anything over here I can click on and it'll bring over there. So that's what you're probably familiar with. Some people like it to do a horizontal split where the conversation's at the bottom. But for training purposes, I'm going to turn it off with no split, just so there's a little less on the screen and we can see a little more of the functionality. Okay, now let me show you conversation views. It's ironic that we can't have a conversation. I feel like this is almost like going back in time where I'm talking and you can't talk back, because that is not how we operate. We say, hey, how you doing? You want to go out to eat tonight? Sure. Where do you want to go? Let's try that new pizza place. I just had pizza last night. All right. Well, let's go to the Italian place. Sweet. Should we invite some friends? Sure. Call them, have them come. Just kind of a natural flow. Well, that's exactly what we have here in Google. It'll be on by default for you Monday morning, and this is something new. It's conversation threads, and so let's look at this right here. They're all threads, but this one has 17 messages. This one down here has 4. This one has 2, and if I scroll down, I have some more. Like this one has 4 and 5, and so at one point in my inbox, after going Google, I had in the top 14 lines, I had the equivalent of 150 emails. But since they were grouped by conversation, it wasn't overwhelming. It was only just a few lines. It really simplified things. And this is one of the most powerful features and different that's in Google. And so it's really key for us to understand this. So let's focus in on this line. Let me show you a couple things about it. First, I'd be interested to see if on the webinar you can tell that this is white versus look at this one below. We've already clicked on it. It's kind of grayed out. I've already read it. Also notice that Galadriel's normal font, Arwen is, but Mary and Omer, those are in bold, as same as the subject line. So Google does 2 things if you haven't read it. If you haven't read it, it will make it bold and it'll make it white in the background. So it really pops out. It will unbold it and make it gray and kind of subdue it kind of in the background if you've already read it. So they're just kind of 2 visual cues right away. I need to look at this mail. Also, if you look at this, Arwen's not bolded. It's normal font. So I've already read the message from Arwen. In fact, I've read everything from Arwen ... to Mary. Bethany's laughing next to me. If you hover over it, there's a people widget, which is kind of cool. You can see a little information about them, which I think is pretty cool. In fact, you can see every email you've ever sent to them by clicking this. So it's a real quick way to see how you've interacted with this person all from here. But these ones are bold. From Mary to Aramer, I have not read, and there's 17 total in this conversation. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and let's see what we see inside. Right. This is what I would expect. I've already read, remember from Arwen? I've already read a little ways down. So those are all not bold and grayed out. Oh, okay. So people are asking, can I make the font a little bigger? Let me see if I can do that. Great. How does that look? Good. All right. So I made the font a little bigger. Good. Thank you guys for sending comments. That's really helpful. So just as what I would expect, these are grayed out. And now the very first message I haven't read from Mary is expanded, and it's white. And so I could read, that sounds great. Another message from him. Sam said something. Gandalf said some stuff. Ooh, he shared a Google Doc with me. All right. And a PDF we attached down here, so I can look at that. And so I can real quickly get caught up with the conversation. So here's how the conversation is organized. Top to bottom, here I'll scroll to the top. Top to bottom in chronological order, just like you'd read a letter. Just like the conversation happened in time. And so you start from the reading from the top and you work her down. I love this. When I would get caught up in email and Outlook, I'd be just flying through my email, and I'd usually do the newest, do emails kind of as I saw them, and I'd reply sometimes to an email, and then I'd get down further and go, oh, shoot, people had already replied to this. Now I look like a goober for look like I haven't read my email. That won't happen because you're going to read them in order, just like a letter. So it's all chronological. The other thing I'll show you is that there are menu items for each message. So even though Google put these into a thread, they're all threaded together, I can reply to an individual message, any one of these, or there are menu items across the top that can apply to all. So we'll come back to those. I'm just going to reply to this message. Maybe I just need to reply to him right here. I could just go to the very bottom and reply to the last message by clicking down here. But for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go up to a message. He wants to know, did Mary have a mustache? I have no idea. You're obviously reading my mail. That's funny. This is why I'm not using my personal mail on this, because then, I'd really get some comments. So let's reply to Sam. He said, sounds good to me, and I want to get on the bandwagon. So I'm going to click reply. I'm going to click this little back arrow thing. I'm going to say, sounds good to me too. I wanted to do that to everyone, not just one. In Outlook, you guys remember what you had to do. You had to save what you had to do. You had to close it, go back to the original, click reply all, paste your message in, and then send it. No more with Google. It's all right here. I can just click this little drop arrow and click to reply all. And now I'm replying to everyone Sam sent the message to. I'm not replying to everyone in this entire conversation. I'll show you how to do that. I'm just replying to everyone Sam replied to. But I could not want to have Gimli on there. I don't need A1 on there. Does R1 have a? No, she doesn't have a mustache. But I want to add, I could add someone else. Who else? Is Pippin on here? Mary. Mary's on there. Well, I'll just add Gimli back. Something you can add anyone back. And then you could click send. So let's go ahead and do that. And then I'll ask my first trick question here. So I'm going to click send. Where is my message? I just sent it. Where is it? It's on the bottom because everything is chronological. So go all the way to the bottom. There's sounds good to me too. So I've added myself to this conversation. I'm the last person to say something. So my message is going to be down here. If we click back on the inbox, remember how many conversations we had? We had 18. Now, perfect. Now we have, or do we have 17? Because Amir just jumped in here. I think we had 17. That's what surprised me. It was 18. I made it 18 with me. Aomer. Oh, look at this. Okay, good. So Aomer, if I'm already reading the snippet, thanks for sending your email. We are busy at a reunion. We'll get back to you. He's got an out-of-office reply. So his out-of-office reply created an extra message. So now we're up to 19. So we're going to click on this again and see what happens. So I've read everything up to Aomer. So if I click on this, just what I would expect. Everything is grayed out except for the very last one. And here's what's interesting. Aomer has a canned response. I'm going to teach you this. This is an advanced thing to me. So because it's canned, Google says, well, you probably don't want to see it, but you could. Here it is. Thanks for sending your email. We're busy with you. We'll get back to you soon. So it's kind of smart. It tries to filter out only what's helpful for you to view on the screen, but that little dot, dot, dot will make it so you can see everything. And then I could go ahead and reply here. Or I could print all. I could forward this to someone else on my team. I could forward this entire conversation. So if someone wasn't on this, but I wanted to get them up to speed. They're new on my team. I could get them up to speed on this conversation. They could read everything. They could really have a good feel for what we decided and how we came up with the decision, let's say, in this conversation. So the menu items up here apply to the entire conversation. The inside menus apply to just that message. And so, for instance, this one, if I didn't want this one, I could say just delete this message, and I will. Let's delete that. Boom. So I delete just that one message of the conversation. I'm not deleting the entire conversation. So that is conversations in a nutshell. If we go back to our inbox, we are back. Now we're back to 18 in the conversation. So if there were any questions on that, you can go ahead and shoot those over to Steve Pierce. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going. So that actually is one of the key things, I think, for people to get. It's definitely new. Let's go on and talk about 3 ways you can manage your inbox. What is Boomerang? Good. I'm so glad you guys asked. So good. I love doing this. This is why I like the advanced class. Let's click Compose. And let me show you how to do compose messages. So I just click the big red button that says Compose. And they asked, what is this Boomerang? You saw it down here. You saw it on the other screen. This is one of my favorite advanced features. So it is a extension. You'll need to add this. It's kind of like an app is to your iPhone. You can add new functionality to Google. And so let me send a message here. I'm going to send it to my friend Arwen and my friend Pippin. And who else do I normally email when I send? Oh, look at this. Google learns how I tend to operate, and it made some suggestions. I don't have to take them, but yeah, of course, I always email Bill, but when I email them, and I always email my friend Mary. But I don't want to email Gimli this time, so I'm not going to select it. It's both scary and really awesome memory jogger, the fact that Google learns so much about you, but it's power applied to you. Again, we own all this, so we don't have to worry about them using this to market to us or for ads or any of that. This is just this same power applied to helping you do your work and communicate and connect with people better. And I'm just going to make a subject hello. I will be there tomorrow at 5, whatever you want to say. And then I can click. Now, Boomerang does 2 things. I can click Send Later. So let's say this is at 2 in the morning and I'm up late. I don't really want them to know I was working late at night. I could actually say Send tomorrow morning. And so it'll look like I got up and, I just composed this to send in Boomerang. So actually, I could go manage my scheduled messages and change that if I wanted to. Here's my messages to send later, and I could edit that. Boomerang also will create a label. Boomerang outbox. and so that you can edit it here without having to go to that menu. And right now it's saying when it's going to send it. So that's the first feature of Boomerang that I really love. The second feature that I love is a reminder. I can click Boomerang this in 2 days if there's not a reply, or in a week if there's not a reply. Clicking on this. My clicker stopped clicking. There we go. 4 days or a week. So if you really need to hear back about this, instead of keeping it in your brain that, all right, in 2 days, or tomorrow, I got to remember to see if they replied or not, you can just say, oh, remind me in 1 day if they replied. And then when you click send, if they don't reply within the next day, it'll come back to your inbox. So really cool features. 2 more questions came in while doing that. All right, let's see.
How do you install extensions in Gmail?
Great.
And is it possible to merge crew email in Gmail?
Great. So the 2 questions were, how do you install extensions? I'll show you that. And is it possible to merge crew email and Gmail accounts? Yes. That one, you're going to get your answer on crewapps.crew.org. crewapps.crew.org. On your first week. Oh, it's on your first day. Moving from a personal Google account has all the directions you need here to merge. It's got some video tutorials. How do you install this extension? That's a great question. I'm going to discard this message. I'm just going to click New tab at the top. When I do that, it's going to bring me to this little window, but there's a web store. So we're going to go shopping. If I click the Chrome web store, in this case, we're going to search for Boomerang. I can just start to search Boomerang. It's an extension, so by default, apps come up. So remember to click extension here in the middle. And then Boomerang for Gmail will be one of your options. And you'll click, mine's already installed, so I can rate it right now, but it normally would look Add to Chrome. You just select Add to Chrome. And then when you come back here, you're going to need to refresh the screen. You're going to click the refresh that's up here, click reload the screen so that it will see that you added Boomerang. That's how you activate it, yes. The first time you use it, it'll say, can I have permissions to do this? And you'll say, yes, I want you to do that. So that is, that's an advanced thing. I love it. When I show you Compose here in a second, well, let's go ahead and do that. The second kind of advanced thing I want to show is, let's say my friend Mary, it's his birthday. I know it because we're friends on Facebook, and Facebook reminded me. I'm going to send him a birthday message. I created something that's called a canned response. So I can say my canned response, happy birthday. I can just click send, or better yet, you click send later. I select his birthday and then send it. And then it will actually go on his birthday, and it looks like at 7:30 in the morning or 8:30 or whatever you set it as, you got up and first thing you were thinking of him. Great MPD tool. This is something I do at the beginning of the month with my supporters, but I only have to do it once and it's just done. I got canned responses. I can quickly go through and do that. So let me show you how to do a canned response. This is another advanced thing. I'm assuming you know how to do the basics of composing email in this webinar. So to make one, I'm going to delete everything out just so that it doesn't put my signature in twice. So let's do that. Maybe this is a good one. Maybe people keep asking you about how to do something. So maybe they're like how to clear your one card. So you would say this is how you do it. Step 1, step 2, step 3. You write this whole thing out. Thanks. Oh, I'm not Mark. I'm Frodo right now. So you compose it. You click down here under More Options, Canned Responses, and notice there are 3 areas. There's Insert, which is what you normally do as you're using it. Save, that's what we want to do right now. We're going to create a new one, and this is Delete. Don't click them down here. That'll delete them. So we want to have a new canned response, and this will be like my how-to response. Great. So I'm going to click this discard draft. Let's do it. I'm going to go up and click compose, and or even better yet, actually, let's discard. Someone sent me a message. Would you like to meet? Canned response. I just click reply down here. Boom, canned response. And I go up the top here. Don't click the bottom ones because that'll delete. Those will delete it down there. You want to do the insert ones, my how-to. Boom. So it's like my whole how-to real quickly. I can click send or send later or however I want to do it. I just click send. Now I'm going to click send here and show you another advanced feature. Remember we turned on the lab undo send? I'm going to click send right now. I have 10 seconds to undo this. Your message has been sent. Undo. If you have that lab, you have 10 seconds. This will stay here for 10 seconds. Anytime I can click it, it'll bring it right back. So cool. So I love having this on. I send it, oh, and I'll attach this for you, and blah, blah, blah. And then you click send, and then you go, oh, I didn't attach attachment. Or wait, someone already replied to that. Whatever it is, you got 10 seconds to undo it. Great feature. And that can be customized in settings if you want to have it be longer. But that's another advanced feature. Oh, OK, a couple other things that are kind of advanced things in terms of being able to attach files. At this point, now with Google, you can attach up to a 25 megabyte file direct to the email address. It was only 10 megabytes in Exchange, so that's a big improvement. Drive, you can insert files from Drive right here, and you can put a file into Drive up to 10 gigabytes in size. So with an email, you can quickly share huge files. So this is a real powerful collaboration feature. And you're sharing a link to the file, not the actual file. So if you need to change it after you sent the email, you can just go change it in Drive, and they'll have an updated copy when they go to it. So highly recommended that, being able to post, insert links and pictures and all that. So that is some advanced composing things. Do we answer all the questions over there? Yep. OK, great. Let's go on how to organize your inbox, because this is something you're going to want to do first thing. You want to hit the ground and be like, how do I live? How do I live in this inbox? So let's go back here. I'm going to click inbox. And so here's my inbox. In fact, we got so many people training right now. I'm getting so many emails. My inbox is starting to literally get overrun. So I need to organize this. Let me show you 3 ways you can do it. First way is stars. There's a stars column right here. I can click on any of the stars that say this is important. If I just click once, it does the very first star. But remember we turned on 4 stars? If I come back and click once, it goes away. But if I kind of click, just, closer together in the clicks, it will toggle through all 4 of my stars. And so one way you might want to organize your emails, you want to just come up with a couple stars that mean different things. All right. I'll just make that one. There we go. OK, I know what these mean. Good. And then you just kind of want to operate out of how those mean as stars. And so if that's you, there is this type of inbox. By the way, Monday morning, this will show up here. Starred first is the type of inbox you're going to want. It puts any emails that are in your inbox, not any emails anywhere like an all mail, but only starred emails that are in your inbox right here. And then everything else, like you'd normally, is down here. So it's a real quick and easy way to star the things you want to get to the top and then focus on them. Oh, by the way, if this little bar isn't here, you can always get it. In fact, you can quickly switch between them by clicking the little down arrow next to the inbox. So I could change back to classic. Classic, by the way, is chronological order with the newest on top going back in time. And so that's what you traditionally think of as, well, classically, is your inbox. So that's one way you could organize your mail with stars. The second way you can organize your mail, and this is only in Google, as far as I know. This is a new feature they have, and it's called importance markers. That's this column right here. Notice some of these are marked. See, this one's important because of the words in the message. So Google's learning the words in here are probably important to me. This one isn't important, but I could teach it. So let's talk about that. How many of you guys would love to have your own personal assistant that every day, actually throughout the day, as you get just literally 100, let's say you get 100 emails, you have this entire pile of mail, and your personal assistant will go through it and pick out the 5 most important ones and hand them to you and say, do those first, and then you can go through the pile, but these 5 you really should see first. How many of you guys would like to have that? I know I would. So this is one of these, I think, under-leveraged features, but because it is new, or relatively new, but you're going to have this Monday morning. And so first off, it learns. Now, it'll start off kind of thinking everything's important, and it'll start to figure out what you ignore, what you delete, what you archive without looking at, what you don't reply to. So it'll learn, and it'll start making things unimportant. But you can speed that up by teaching it. So let's say this message from Mary is important. I just click. Now it thinks it's important. And this one about a nap, that's not important. So I'll uncheck that. And so just like you would help teach an assistant that was helping you, you can teach Google, your personal assistant in Google, what's important and what's not. And so the type of inbox that would be helpful, if this is the system you want to use, is important first. So if I click that one, or by using the drop down here by inbox, by selecting important first, what it does is anything that's important, it will put on top. And if you scroll down, there's a lot of important stuff. It puts everything else. So that's the not important stuff. So this might be one way you just kind of want to operate in your inbox. Maybe you want to combine the first two. So this is kind of a bonus way. You like stars, you like important markers. You could do what they call the priority inbox. And this is like the advanced. It's a combination of what's important and unread and starred. And so this might be something you want to do. You kind of want to use both, and you just kind of work out a system that works for you. Great. Play with the priority inbox. You can configure what each one is over here and what you can kind of see and how many messages are in it. And you can also click on settings. And there's under the inbox. Once you have priority inbox selected here, you can configure this. So this is kind of advanced stuff. I won't go through it all, but it's self-explanatory. So that is kind of a blend of the first two. Let me show you the third thing, and that's labels. Now, this is one of, I think, the coolest features of Google. It's very powerful, a little complex. I'm going to go into that since this is an advanced class. I feel like this isn't back to college. You know, you've made it through school, you're done. But training, how about advanced training? I'm going to change back to the classic inbox just for this. This is actually the way I live. I kind of came up with a getting things done system with labels. But labels are folders in Outlook with a bonus. Here's the bonus. I've gotten so many emails today, I haven't got a chance to label a lot of these, but I'll scroll down a little bit. Look at this. I've got some messages are in more than one folder. That's because when in an Outlook, you had to put the message somewhere, and it could only be in one place. So when you had it in your inbox, if you wanted to put it in a folder and it was about the finances for a outreach you were doing, do you put it in your outreach folder or your finance folder? Well, you had to pick one. Not anymore with Google. You can put it in more than one label because a label is simply like a sticky note on the piece of paper. You can have more than one sticky note on that message or conversation. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's label some things. I can simply click and drag. Legolas is awesome. Finances. I can just drag my labels right on top of them, just like that. I can also make my own labels. Monday morning, when you come into your inbox, you're going to have a whole bunch of labels. They're all going to be your folder structure from Outlook. So your entire folder structure will exist right over here. And so you won't have to remake all those. What you'll want to do is clean them up. And let me show you what I mean. What's going to happen? Let's click Edit. All of your folders, when you come in Monday, are actually going to look like this. They're going to say inbox/food. And so they're going to kind of look a little cluttery, not a big deal. You can simply edit them so that they look pretty. And so that might be one of the first things to do, just kind of settling, is kind of get things the way you like it. But you might want to make some. So I'm going to click this More down here and go scroll down to Create New Label. By the way, if this little chat window gets in your way, which sometimes it does, you just click down here in the little chat window, and if you click it, it comes up, and if you click it, it goes down. We'll look at that in a sec. How are we on time? Well, we're flying. So let's click Create New Label, and let's make a crew label. I want to label some things about crew. So it created that label right here. Can I have a sub-label? Yes. If I click on that label, I can say Add Sub-Label. And this will be my outreaches. Click Create. Now, you think it didn't happen. It actually did. It create a little triangle here, so drop down. So it's a sub-label. And can I have a sub-sub-label? Yes, you can go as long as you want. Let's see, lasagna. I don't know why you'd want to do this, but you want to have recipes of lasagna for the outreach. However you want to do it, and then again, you can just click and drag. This is part of an outreach. You can color them. You can, well, let's make the crew one. That's kind of important. Let's label that one red. Oh, cool. So I can make all of them. Yeah, let's make them all red. So kind of like everything that's part of the crew folder structure then will be red. Great. So we saw crew outreaches over here. When we label that, now that's red, and we can see it. It pops out for us. So you might want to come up with a system that works for you on how to organize your mail. But what's going to be really important, no matter what you pick, is to talk about how to clean it up, and that is archiving. The fastest way you can clean up your inbox is not to delete. In fact, I would highly recommend don't delete until you really understand how Google works. Because archive is one of the most powerful features and different features than we had on Exchange or Outlook or Mac Mail or whatever you're using to connect to our Exchange email. So you got to change your brain. In the old system, archive meant copy it to your hard drive. You had to do that because you only had a gig of space, or less than that. For a while, we had 50 megs. You know, like I felt like I was archiving every day just so that my inbox could still receive mail. You don't have to be trigger happy anymore. We got 25 gigs of space. You're not going to fill that up anytime soon. And by the time you get close to that, we're going to increase the size. So you don't have to delete anything. So that gives you options, and archive is the biggest one. So let's talk about that. What does archive mean in Google? If you're taking notes, archive means removing the inbox label. Let me show you. Everything here, since I'm in the inbox, you can see because it's red and it's bold over here, is part of the inbox. Let's just say these, I don't need any of these. I'm just going to clean these up. I don't need this one either. I know Legolas is awesome. I don't need that email. And so I'm gonna archive these. To show you what it looks like, I'm gonna click on all mail over here. Now, all mail, spam, and trash are by default hidden. Just to begin, you can always search for them, but when you come in morning, maybe one thing you might want to do, if you click on More down here, and you click on Manage Labels, it's at the very bottom. It's going to show all the labels, and initially all mail, spam, and trash were hidden, so you can't see them over here. They're not there. I'm going to go ahead and click Show on all mail, spam, and trash. And notice as I did that, they showed back up over here. It's kind of helpful to see what's going to happen. So let's go back to the inbox. These messages are still selected. I can select all mail, and they're still selected. And what's cool here is you can see that there's an inbox label. When you're in the inbox, they don't show you the label because everything in the inbox has the inbox label. Same with any label you're in. It won't show you the label that you're in because you're in the label. So let's click archive. That's this button right up here. This is your new best friend. This is the fastest way to clean up your inbox. If you don't need to do anything with it, archive it. Just don't even think about it. Just archive it. So watch what happens here. I'm going to click archive, and we should see this inbox label go away from the messages we have checked. Boom, it went away. And if I click on an inbox over here, they're no longer there. Those calendar entries and things, they're not on the top. Where are they? I didn't delete them. I simply archived, which means removing the inbox label. So they're no longer in the inbox. They're in all mail. And by the way, when you search, the search bar up at the top here, it always searches all mail. So it's still there. You haven't deleted it. You can always get to it. You can always search for it. You can always go to all mail and look for it. It's there. Google has two big buckets for everything. It has your all mail bucket, and it has trash. And so if you just archive, you can still have access to it at some point. If you put it in the trash, it's gone forever. Now, it gives you a 30-day grace period. Google built some grace in there for us, so you have 30 days to quick get it back out of the trash. But Google comes along automatically taking out anything that's older than 30 days out of your trash and getting rid of it forever. And that cannot be undone. So, on spam and things you don't really care about, go ahead and trash those. But things that are related to work and stuff that you might want to reference and you don't know, don't waste your mental energy. Just archive it. Boom. You don't have to worry about space. And then if you do need it, search. I love it. I used to have about 150 folders that came over as labels, and I've got it down to about 10, 15 labels now, and I just search for things, and I feel like I am the fastest email I've ever been in my life. In fact, at one point, I had nothing in my inbox. I had just my labels for what I needed to work on for action items. That's the most caught up on email I think I've ever been in my life. So really powerful feature. It's just really freeing. So that's labels. Let's talk about searching now. This is great. We're doing great on time, by the way. We are coming up on 1 hour, which is right where we need to be. Oh, good. We have some questions. That's good, since we're at a transition point.
So are all of these features available on the iOS Gmail?
On the iOS Gmail. So someone asked, are these available in the iOS Gmail app? I love the iOS Gmail app. Or the Gmail app for Android, which of course they would have it on Android. Yes, all of these features essentially are. The caveats are Boomerang. You have to install something extra for it to work. I think they have a Boomerang app now that adds on. I have to go check that. But Boomerang won't. Undo Send is just part of Chrome. What else? Some of the what else? Those not be. Almost everything is. So maybe it'd be easier to say what is. So all your labels are available in the Gmail app. You can. This is one of my favorite features. Look at this right here. We must have started something I forgot about. Galadriel, there's a draft, and it's in my inbox. Oh, right. We never. Look at this. This is a great example. Look, we never did click send on this message. If I click back, it saved it as a draft. It's always saving my messages. As I click enter and change some things, it will, there we go, saving, saved. Right here, you see where it says that, saved? It's always saving it. If you use the Gmail app, you can open up this message on your phone, open up the draft, finish composing it, click send. It will send from both your phone and the web interface. So really powerful way to do things. In fact, I had this happen the other day. I thought I had sent it, but I forgot. I got distracted. I didn't know what time something was. And so while I was in the airport, I was looking through my mail, saw the draft, put in the time, clicked send. And then when I got to my destination, it was already sent out of my Chrome browser. So full integration. That's really cool. By the way, if you don't want to send it, you just want to get rid of it, you can click discard draft. Oh, equivalent mail merge. Well, you guys are asking all of the hard questions. There is not a nice mail merge feature in Gmail. This is one of these things that's not ideal. There are pros and cons. Outlook is definitely better at this. And so, I don't know, yeah. So there are ways to do it. So there's two ways. One, you could search, or we could figure out how to get the link to you. There are several templates that are online that are a Google spreadsheet. So it's a Google Doc, it's a spreadsheet, and you just put name and email address. In fact, what I did from TNT is I export to Excel, and then I copy and paste my supporter email address into that. And then I compose a message. You put in your, this is my prayer letter, whatever you want to say. Maybe I attach a PDF or a picture of my prayer letter, however I do it. I leave it as a draft, make sure it says save. Then you go back to the spreadsheet, and you click send from there, and it will merge the draft with the data in the spreadsheet. So that's the way. It's not ideal. It takes a little more tech savviness to do that. The second thing I would suggest is using MailChimp. That's what most people are doing. It's got really cool features that can track if people have opened it or not. So you can see how many of your supporters even read the email, where they're located, which ones that are actually tracked on a per user basis. So you can tell what your most engaged supporters are, at least reading your prayer letter. So pretty cool features there. I'd recommend trying to make the simplest format so it displays well on phones. Some of my friends send pretty fancy MailChimp things, and I have a hard time reading it even on my iPhone. But I have some friends that send a nice, real simple template, and it shows great. So you might want to test that. There is a third option, and that is you can use this tool, Google Apps Sync, to get Outlook to work. It's not the best. You don't want to live in Outlook, but you could get Outlook to work on Windows good enough to be able to do a mail merge, and it will just send. You don't want to live there. You can't do the video chat. There's some glitches. It adds a bunch of extra labels. There's some websites on how to make it work, and they all say how to wrangle Outlook to do such and such. It's definitely not a way you want to live, but you can continue to do mail merge the way you did in Outlook if that's something that you really want to do. But all personal preference. All these are. So I apologize. Yeah, that's definitely one of the areas that's not ideal, but definitely there's still workarounds to make it happen. Great. Thanks, Brittany, for.
Yeah. When you search in the bar, does it pull up? Oh, hold on a second. He changed his question. So are we moving away from a computer app and going to?
Right.
Going to only web apps for mail?
Great. So someone asked, are we moving away from like a computer app and moving to web apps? Yes. What we found is that computer apps, they cost more. You have to buy them. There's the licensing fees for Office. They tend to break more often. How many times I've had to like reinstall or get a DLL or reinstall my MSI file or I had to scan my PST for errors or that sort of thing. So you don't have any of those problems. If something ever happens, all you need to do in Chrome is reload the page. So you just click reload page. If there's ever a problem, that's like the equivalent to reinstalling Outlook, only we just did it in 2 seconds. So it gets rid of 99.9% of the technical problems that happen. And everything is on the web. It's more secure. So now your email isn't on a OST or PST file on your hard drive that if you lose it, if it's not backed up, it's gone. Or someone can't take the hard drive out and access all your email. because it's stored in the cloud. It's all available. I'll show you here offline next, where you can have actually your mail sync offline, and you can do this even if you don't have internet access. That's kind of an advanced feature also. So you can jump in if that didn't totally answer your question, but yeah, that's the way we're going.
The offline feature is actually the next question.
Oh, the offline is the next question. Okay, so let's talk about filters, and then let's do offline and some of those things. Filters is the equivalent of rules, only so much more powerful. So if you got your mail, you had like rules like everything from one person went into a folder. You can do all that and more in Google. So let's say Galadriel, we email a ton, and I want all of her stuff to, here, let's edit this label to call this Galadriel. And I just want everything from Galadriel to go into a folder. So I can select her, go up here in More, and here's your little magic thing here. Filter messages like these. This is how to, on a message, create a filter to do whatever you want. So right now, kind of by default, it goes, oh, anything from her? Yeah. Or I can tighten the filter and say only if she's talking about one card, because we talk about clearing one card stuff, and I only want to do that once a month. I don't want to have to in my day every day. And then I can make a filter with this search. What do I want to do with it? I could have it skip the inbox, which is the equivalent of archiving. So it'll be in all mail right there. It's always in all mail. But I also want to apply the label Galadriel. And so real quickly there, anything from her that has the word one card. In the subject, I could go back and actually not just have it in the subject. I could have it in the body, or actually subject, or anywhere in there it says one card. And then I can create that filter. And so now anything that'll come from her will then go to, this student didn't have one card in it, but I could easily click and drag that on there. Or actually, let me put this back. I can click on it and label from in here. Just by typing or by going down, I can click Galadriel. So label it's also in the inbox. Kind of a cool feature. I could click archive here, or I could just click X to get rid of the inbox label. It says the conversation has been archived. That's the equivalent. If I go back to my inbox, it won't be here. But where is it? I can always get it. I labeled it Galadriel, so I can get it by clicking on Galadriel. There it is. Or I can click on all mail. And let's see, I'm not seeing it here. We have to scroll. Oh, there it is right down here. Scroll down a little bit. Would you like to meet? So that is hopefully not too fast of clicking, but some of the cool features you can do with filter. One of my favorite things to do with filter is if this how-to, if someone emails you something that has it in here, like let's say someone was asking about this. Oh, this is my draft. Let's get rid of that. Delete that. Let's go back to inbox. Let's say for some reason Gandalf had emailed about this. I can click more. I can filter messages like this, tighten it up with some words. I don't know. Yeah, it could be once again or event or whatever it is. Create a filter. I can actually send a canned response. So remember those canned responses we made? I could send in the how-to. And maybe I could have a special canned response that says, hey, this might answer your question. Here it is. If it doesn't, let me know. And so they could email back if that did answer their question. But real quickly, if you got really good at this, you could go on vacation for a week and no one would know. Like they would think you're just replying to your emails. So that's kind of cool. All right. Let's talk about how to customize more things, since this is the a little more advanced class. And back to the inbox. Let's talk about chat real quick. Chat will come up here. I can search for people. It kind of remembers the most important ones. This is actually my boss. So I'm not going to chat with him. Let's see, who else? Let's chat with Aragorn here. So So I'll click this little chat button. I'll bring up a chat window. He's offline, but I can still send him a message. And he'll get it when he's offline. If he was online, I could have called him. I can invite him to a Hangout, so next time he comes on, it'll do that. I can also add more people to the chat, and more, once I've connected with him, I can video chat with him. So it'd be probably easier to see. I'm not actually going to video chat with my boss right now, but there's Hangout. Let's click chat. More, there, video chat. So that would have a video right here within the window, or I could click this one, which is the Google Hangout. So that would bring a whole separate window up where we could collaborate on a document together. We could see each other in video. We could do any number of things. So this Google Hangout feature, I think is going to be one of the biggest time savers for us, because you can real quickly, you don't have to drive, you don't have to deal with tolls, but you can right there look at the same doc, edit it together. Actually, let's see what happens if he's not online. Okay, so it's trying to call him. But I can chat with him, and I can do Google Drive where we can edit a document together. So we're not going to do that here. My crew mail, you know, we could edit something together. So that is cool. So that's chat. Just briefly play with that. That, I think, right there, having all of our staff in one directory, we could quickly connect with each other, and being able to pin people at the top. It's right over here. You can say always show. So the people you always want to be there, you can pin them. That's a real powerful feature, and that's like something we never had before. Let's do offline, because that's something you're going to want to do in Mail. So let's click Settings. Offline. So you see that right across the top. I'm going to click on the offline. It's going to say Launch Gmail Offline. And I don't have it installed yet, so let's install it. So again, we went to this Chrome web store. It took me right to the place where I need to go. Gmail Offline, I'm just going to say Add to Chrome. So it's going to go out. Yes, I want to add it. Ding! There we go. So it added this thing, Gmail Offline. So if you're always like, oh, where is that? You just go New Tab. And click Gmail Offline. So right now it's a separate tab. Coming very soon, it will not be a separate, it will just be all in the same window as Gmail, but it's not quite ready yet. I talked to some of the Google developers, and they said they're waiting on some changes with HTML5. So also by default, it only syncs 1 week. So one thing you might want to do right away, again, there's that little, let me go back to Inbox. There's that little gear in the upper right-hand corner. You'll click that and change it from 1 week to a month. And as soon as I click Apply here, you'll see down here, I don't have a ton of emails, so maybe it already did it. It will say it's syncing. And this is a one-time deal. You don't have to remember to go in and sync your offline anytime you think you're going to be offline. Anytime you're in this tab right here using your mail, in fact, actually anytime Chrome is open, it will be syncing your offline. So it's always there. I didn't remember when I got on the plane yesterday to do this. It just did it. So when I was on the plane, I had all my mail, and I have all my labels. I got everything I want. All the colors came over. So it's really good. It's full featured, and it's only going to get better. So that's offline.
We have a team email account that's listed on a
Club Constitution?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. So you created. So okay, so you have a team account that you're used for the charter for your school, and so will there be a way to do that through CrewMail? Yes. There's 2 ways. One, So those team accounts that aren't tied to a person aren't going to move on Monday. So you'll still access that one the same way you did before, through Outlook or have you have that connected. We have emailed, if you check that, we've emailed all of those team accounts with some directions, and we'll be in contact more. But two things you're going to need to do for a group account. Not need to do, but two options. One, it could just come over to Google like this, like your inbox will be, and you could either set up a separate Chrome profile, so you could go check it just by clicking. So here I'm Frodo. I could just click Bilbo, and it'll bring up a new window and click on the Gmail app for that. And this might be your team account. So that might be a real slick way. You can just have a separate window with email from that, and you could forward out of it and delete it when you're done. You could, I just closed that window. You could create delegated access, like I have access to Gandalf now. And so it'll open it as a new tab. So you can share delegated access. So your whole team can help check this one. So that's one way. A second way you could do it. Or actually, I think the best way, it might be a little different for you, but I think the best way is to create a Google group for it. And we have emails about that. And notice on the top here, there's something called groups. I'm not going to go into detail on this. There's actually some training we'll send out, and there's on this. You can create what's called a collaborative inbox. And so that is, if you click create group, actually do it. We'll migrate. In the email, there'll be steps on do this. You could do new ones here, but don't do existing ones, because we want to do some special things with existing ones. So whoever asked that question, don't go right away and do this with your one for your school, your charter, your shared one for your school. But there's a type here called collaborative inbox, and this is basically Google's way to track who replied to what email. So it's got a lot of functionality about shared inbox. This is for real power user type stuff. So those are your options. We'll email all those shared boxes with those options. But good question. All right, that's all the questions. Good. So you guys, you're either asleep, or I'm doing a decent job and you're following along, or maybe you're thinking, all right, good enough, I can see it, and it's possible. Monday morning, I'm going to figure this all out. And Monday morning, you're going to come in, you're going to click more, and you can go to this Google Apps training, and you can spend half an hour, whatever, 2 hours if you can watch everything. And you can watch videos how to do this and pause and go do it live. If you're like me, you like to just have your hands on it. So that might be what you do Monday morning to just get yourself up to speed. Not a problem. Great. So syncing to smartphone. All smartphones automatically do that. And on that crewapps.crew.org, on your first day getting set up, they have how to set up mobile devices. So everything one-time kind of setup is on this website, crewapps.crew.org. So you're going to want to write that one down and be one of the first places you go Monday to get all those questions answered. And somebody's what? 25 gigabytes of mail included in Drive. Drive's just 5 gigabytes. It's not the same as the 25, but it's unlimited for Google Docs type. So those don't count against your storage, but you can increase the size of your Drive if you want to, either using personal or ministry funds. And here in a month, we're going to work through a process of creating POP plans for teams that need a lot more storage as a whole on the team. Good, lots of questions were coming in. Good job.
Is it impossible to have a personal goal?
Oh, so the question is, can you have both your personal and your crew one sync to your hard drive in your computer at the same time. Right. No, not at the time. Not at this time. So here I have this app installed, and I don't know why I'm not able to connect right now, but it will only let you. Right now I have my Crew one. You can only have one. You can disconnect and reconnect. You can always use the web interface. Actually, I kind of forget that I even have it synced to my hard drive, to be honest, because the web interface is so great, and I can search it. There's a lab for within your email. You can search your drive. You don't have to click here and search your drive from this search box. You can search it all from just this one here with a lab add-on. So because I live in this so much now, I don't, yeah. But it's not ideal. It would be great to have both and be able to kind of have some separation of your personal and work life. But at this point, you can't do that.
The mobile devices require all the crazy permissions.
All the crazy permissions. I love how they worded that. You know, the only thing we require is a passcode, some sort of lock. And that's actually really standard in industry. We actually just do the basics. So it could be locked down a lot more. We could be requiring two-factor authentication or something. But yeah, that's not going to change from what it is now. That's the same. That's kind of separate. That's a separate policy. That's nothing to do with this transition. But good question. I'll answer a lot more questions in the end. Let's keep going so I make sure we get it in the time, just to respect your time. And then those of you that want to ask more questions, I'll stay as long as you want, and we'll take care of it. But that way, if people want to go, they can. Let's go to contacts. You can either click this drop down here to get contacts, or click contacts across the top. Great. So key thing, My Contacts is everything that links to your phone. Most contacted are Google learning the people you mostly contact. So this is Google kind of being smart. So that can be helpful. Other are anyone you've ever contacted, it starts to remember. So this is something good to point out. Monday morning, when you come in, every contact that was in Outlook will be here in your My Contacts, every one. And you might think a few are missing, and that's because they weren't actually a contact. They were just remembered as like you had typed it once. So Google does type ahead memory. That's where it does other contacts. Those contacts, however, in Outlook won't come over. So you might have a few where you go, oh, I thought I had a contact. You probably didn't actually have a contact, so there was nothing for us to migrate. It was just kind of remembered by Outlook itself. It's not actually on the server. And so those, you can just search your mail and find them. All the messages that you sent them, you'll still have. And so you'll have the information, but it might be just a little catch there. So that's something that might help. So you can create groups of contacts. Maybe you want to have your team. So you just click New Group right here. Let's just call it my staff team. And if I click on that label, they actually function as labels. I can add some people to it. My friend Pippin and Mary. Since I'm Frodo, this is kind of like the Hobbit gang, and I'll add them. Boom. And notice, because I just added them, they're on my staff team label, but they're in a bunch of other labels. So it's not making copies of the contact. It's just like in mail. There's one copy of the message, one copy of contact, simply with multiple labels. A real slick way, since this is our advanced class, I keep calling it class, training, one of my favorite ways to make a group is to find a group where I've emailed a few people. Let's click this one. So on this message over here, there's equals 8 more. So there's 12 people in this message. If I compose a email this group, here's all their emails. If I click, and do Shift, so I'm doing Shift up there, and then I do Control-C or Command-C, depending if you're in Windows or Mac. And I go back over here. On here, I can paste that whole list oh my gosh, it's a little hard to scroll, but that is the entire list of people. And if I click add, it will go find them. And notice I already had them in other contact groups. It will find the actual contact and add them in. Now you notice there are a couple duplicates. Sometimes it will duplicate things doing it this way. That's okay. You can just click find and merge duplicates. It will find, so I doubled a couple of these. That's okay, merge, boom. It fixed all my duplicates. And so if that happens to you, you can easily dedupe. By the way, this little dedupe feature is kind of another advanced thing. If you had like 3 of every contact in Outlook, but I never wanted to spend the time to clean it up, one of the first things I did getting to Google was do this find and merge. It cleaned up all of them in like 5 seconds, and I finally had 1 of every contact. It was awesome. So you'll definitely want that find and merge duplicates. You can run it all you want. It won't hurt anything to run it multiple times. Oh, bigger again? That people are asking? Okay. There we go.
Can you use the group labels as distribution?
Great, good question. Can I use that? I just created my staff team, so let's try. I'll go back to my mail tab, and let's discard this one. I'm going to compose, and I'm just going to type staff team. Okay, it's looking up in the, yes, it should have my staff team in here. Let's look. Contact, staff team. Okay, you know what? If I have a problem, I'm just going to reload it and see what happens here. There we go. Let's try it again. Staff team. Okay, so I had to reload. Google does a lot of caching since it's the web browser, so if something ever doesn't work, just reload the page. So there you go. I started typing staff. That's the staff team I just made. Boom, there's my whole staff team. So I can quickly add them and go, well, this doesn't apply to Gimli or Bilbo. He doesn't need to know about that. I can just X and then type my message. Another interesting thing here is this is how all of your signatures are going to be Monday. And so you're going to want to customize this so it doesn't look like this, so generic. And that's all under settings. Let's minimize this. Settings. About halfway down, you're going to see signature. And so I could go in here. What is my job title as Frodo? I'm the ring bearer, I guess. So you could fill that all out. And then make sure when you do that, you go to the bottom and click Save Changes. So now when I compose a new email, it'll say ring bearer instead of having that generic thing. So yeah, that's a good thing to add to your to-dos Monday.
Will this be connected to Mission Hub?
Good question. Wow, you guys are like power users. I do have the smart group here. Will this connect to Mission Hub? Okay, so yes and no. It's not a sync, but it's Google Contacts. So you can tell Mission Hub to go get your contacts out of your crew Gmail and pull those into Mission Hub. So yes, in that case. Hope that makes sense. I think it does. Keep asking me questions if it doesn't. I'm not going to cover tasks. It's a real simple task manager. You guys can figure that out. Let's do calendar. So we're good. Let's see. Oh gosh, no, we gotta wrap things up. So we do gotta get to calendar. I got let myself get a little distracted. I really want to cover this because calendar is designed for teams. This is going to be a great productivity tool for your team. So there's my calendar. This is Frodo. This is other people's calendars that I've added. I'll show you how to do that. But let's say I want to have a team calendar. I can do that really easily. First, if I just want to create a task, by the way, default comes up in week. I can select day. I can select month. I can click on a day and add things here. I kind of like to live in the week view. It's pretty. I can see chronologically what happens. I can click anywhere. Like I just click and drag And say this will be the team dinner, and it's going to be in my calendar, and I can just create event. If I want to, I click anywhere on the colored part once, it shows me just the basics. If I click either on team dinner, or when I click here, if I click edit event, it brings me to this full page where I can see everything. And so let's say I have a team dinner and I want to invite my team. You just add them over here. Add some people. Alienware is optional. If I want to book, let's say most of you guys probably don't have rooms, but maybe the regional office would have a room. That's like a resource. You could add that as a resource. And if you did, when you clicked on Find a Time, you could see everyone's calendars, including the resource room, if it was available or not. Probably won't use that a lot, but if you do, great. I think what you will use a lot is if you you're not going to actually, you're going to on a Hangout, and you just click Add Google Hangout, and then boom, you can virtually meet. So everything is fully integrated. I think that's a cool feature. So I'm going to take off that resource. So I can change the color of it. I can give how much permissions people have. Do I want to let them be able to modify this event? Do I want them to be able to invite other people or not? See the guest list. This is the default right here, the way it is right now. And then I just click Save. Would I want to send invites? Of course. I want them to come to my team dinner. And there we go. I created an event, invited people, quickly collaborating. At any point in time, after people respond, if I click Edit Event, oh, Frodo's coming. They'll start having checkboxes that they're coming. If people, here, I'll go respond to one over here of someone that someone sent to me. So here we go. This Gandalf asked, are they coming to Rivendell? Am I going? Yes, no, maybe. So I could just real quickly, I could say, yes, I'm going. You have replied yes to this invitation, and then I would archive it because I don't need this anymore. It'll be in my calendar. But I could also click more details. It'll take me over in the calendar, and it'll see who all is coming. It'll show the whole list. I could add a note. I could say why I'm coming. This is going to be awesome. And people can see each other's comments. So a lot of cool features there. I could join the Hangout if it's time to join the meeting. So yeah, great collaboration. Let's talk about, that's how to create events. I'm assuming this group, you'll figure that out no problem. But let's talk about how to do a team calendar. You click down here and you click Create New Calendar. So under My Calendars, let's just create a team calendar. Give it a description. That's optional. You don't have to do that. Select what your time zone is. So we're out here. So we can do that. I can let everybody in crew just see the event details. By the way, right here, this Make Calendar Public literally is the internet public. So probably don't want to do that. Unless, actually, maybe you would. Maybe you're doing a conference. And you want the conference calendar. This isn't your team calendar. This is for a conference. You want everybody to be able to see this on their computers, and if they could choose to sync it to their phones, and you could edit it, and it would live update the events on their calendars. That's a pretty sweet deal. So there are probably reasons, but this literally is the internet. But most likely what you'll do is you'll add people to your team. So I'll just add my team here. R1's on my team. And so here we go. So I can quickly add them. By default, you get see all event. My team, I want to give them a little more access. In fact, here, actually, let me show you all. Here's all 4 of your options. By default, the owner gets this. Well, they can't get less. You're the owner. I'd recommend not giving this out very often. do this second one, which is make changes to events. That's the safe one. It gives them full power. They can add events, take events off, add notes about it. They're a team player. This is everyone in your team. The one thing that manage changes and manage sharing that they can do extra that's dangerous is delete the entire calendar. Not just an event, the entire bloody calendar. So some people have been very sad because they added someone on their team and the team person goes, I don't want to see the team calendar, I'm going to delete it. Well, they didn't end up just deleting it, they deleted it from the entire team. And the team's like, well, we wanted it. So a little safer to just say make changes to events. They can do everything they need to do. But maybe a couple power users in your team that really get this, you'll give them that. And then they can add new people that come to the team. And so they're like an owner. See all event details, they can just see the events or see only free busy. So let's click the create the calendar. Oh, that's right. I spelled Pippin wrong in my contacts. It should be IN, so that's why he doesn't think he's in Google. But if you knew they were, you could say invite, and they could still, even if they didn't have Google, they could still access it. They might have to create a free Gmail account to do so, but they would still be able to do it. So there's my team calendar. So I can go over here and create an event, team discussion, whatever it is. And I want this to be available to my team, so I'm going to select team calendar and create the event. And so now it's the color of my team calendar. You can change the color to something different so it stands out a little, however you want to do it. So there you go. You can be off and running. One person on your team could make this team calendar. 30 seconds later, you could all be putting your team schedule in by Monday at noon, man. You guys could have your entire team calendar up and working. Or actually, what we found is that most of our staff actually are already using Google. So you probably already have team calendars. So you could move those over. That's, again, on the instructions on crew.crew.org. You could export and import it in here, or just share it with your crew accounts, and then boom, it'll be in there. But the recommended way is to do an export-import so that data lives in the crew system and not in the free Gmail system. So Google can't search it. Google can't claim any rights to the data. They can't market to you with it. So it kind of gets it out of their reach. And it also guarantees that we backed up. We have an agreement with them that they fully back up everything. They will restore something if it gets lost or if something crashes on a Google server. So a little safer for it.
Wanting to know if you can say that again, because he was asking if you can import it over.
Oh, yeah. Can you import it over? Yes. So let me show you where the directions are for that. It's on the crewapps.crew.org page, and there's move things over. They were not migrated automatically. And so if you had a Google account that was your team one, here's how to do your mail, contacts, here's calendar. So importing personal calendar, but it's from your free Gmail account. This video shows you how to do it. So just for time-wise, I won't duplicate it, but you basically export, import. Everything's there. You'll have to redo the sharing since it'll be like a new calendar with that data, but you won't lose any content, and you can just share it with whoever you want, your staff team. But if you have students that are working with you, you can share it with them. And you have full control. That's probably what I'm really excited about this. It's no longer our old way of calling a help desk and having them create something for you. You are empowered to get everything done quickly and work together. And so we all can just make it happen. If you don't know how to do it, that's all right. Have someone else in your team do it. They'll set up the team calendar, and you all have access to it.
So importing is better than sharing, which keeps the info inside Crew.
Right. Yeah. So they asked, is it better to import or just share it? It's better to import because it gets that data in Crew for all the reasons I had mentioned earlier. And it's only a one-time thing. It'll take a few minutes to get that right, but it's kind of fun to do. There's a sense of satisfaction that you did it. Maybe it's just the tech guy in me you're talking. Oh gosh. We did accepting appointments. We shared the calendar. Let's talk about offline for that, and then a couple of the buzz features, and let's wrap up. And I'll stay around. I know we're just 5 minutes over on time here, so let's try to wrap up here. So offline, you can do the exact same thing with offline only. It's not a separate window. It's interesting. Why is it not there? Load. Oh, great. I'm in mail. Calendar. Go back to calendar. I was like, why does it not say offline over here? There we go. So this is how you turn on offline calendar. Settings, and there's a little offline settings. So if you click that, do I want to install something to make that happen? Yes. Again, it takes me to the Chrome web store, installs this little thing to let me to do it. You say add to Chrome, add it. It goes and adds it. It adds an icon here on your new tab space. They're called apps down here. But you don't actually have to go to a new place. It's actually just part of your calendar. So if I click this again here, now that I've added it, oh, I've got to refresh this page so it can learn that I added it. Let's click this. There we go. So now offline. I don't know if you caught just for a second. It was spinning thing there, so it was syncing, and now it's done. Let me clarify. It's only done with my main calendar. You need to do one more step. So go ahead and click offline, and then click offline settings. And by default, available offline is only your personal one. But let's say you want your team calendar and some of your friends, your favorite sports team, you can add calendars for them, whatever. If you want those to be available offline, you just click save. And then if we go back here, you'll see, well, it's synced so fast. That's awesome. Well, there's not a lot of content in these ones. It'll take a little longer if it's a full team calendar. But now I have it available offline. There's one limitation right now on offline that will change in the future. It's not ideal, but it is you can't create new events. You can accept ones that already came to you. You can view everything, all the way in the past, all the way in the future. But offline, you can't create a new calendar entry. But the workaround for that is any of your mobile devices, you can do it. So if you have an iPhone, tablets, iPad, whatever, all of those are, because they're mobile devices, they natively support offline. And so when I was on the plane yesterday, I just used my iPad to create calendar entries that I wanted. And when I landed and had internet, they sank. So that's offline for calendar. That's the most important things. So we're 10 minutes after, not too bad. We made it through everything. I really appreciate you guys listening and spending this time to get up to speed. I really hope this helps you be more effective and to do what God's calling you to do. And so really appreciate you, and really thanks for spending this time. So I'm going to stay here and we'll answer questions. But if you really need to go for it. And if you want to stay and ask questions, we'll hang out.
Thanks for super helpful. Sorry, it took so much time. Chris from San Francisco.
Awesome. Now we like San Francisco, guys. I visited some friends up there, so great. We've got more questions coming in. That's good. Any specific iOS apps to use with Google Apps? So all the Google ones, like Drive, you can sync Drive to your. They have a Google Plus one that you can do Google Hangouts on your phone, so you can do. It's kind of like like FaceTime and or whatever. You can video chat. So that's with the Google Plus app. The Gmail app is my favorite. I mean, I love it. The fact that I can start a draft there and finish it in my computer. I can label everything the way I want to. It sees the stars the correct way. So that'd be the number one thing is the Gmail app. Pulling out my phone to see if there's anything else I installed. That's the main one. Questions could keep going. I just remembered one other of my favorite features, which is mute. If there's a message that just keeps going on, you're like, oh my word, stop. I don't need to hear about this anymore. But you don't really want to delete it. Well, actually, good question. You can't delete it because they'll send you a new mail and it'll come back. And you delete it again, and then they send another message and it's back in your inbox. Like you can't stop it. Well, if something like that happens, any message you're on, if you click more, there's this option called mute. And what that will do is prevent it from coming to the inbox. It will still go to all mail, or it will, and I should say, it will still go to any labels that you labeled that conversation with. They'll still be unread, but it won't keep going to your inbox. And so I love this. So you click more and you just click mute. And so now it's no longer in my inbox. If I click on all mail, I can see it. It will have the muted label. So where is that one? There it is, muted. And so I'll still get these, but they won't keep coming in my inbox. So I could search for them if I want them, and I don't have to worry about it cluttering me up. There's just so many little productivity boosts that I think you'll really like. Great. Well, I think that's all the questions that came in. So I'll hang out for a minute or two if you think of some, but Godspeed to you all. You're welcome. Thanks for the thanks. Hopefully I'll get to meet you guys someday. Maybe at CSU this summer. People are thinking. Good. There you go. I can see people going away. We'll hang in until the last person goes. Don't worry. If you're still thinking of that last question. We're done. There's just last couple people on asking questions.
Oh yeah. You like to still ask questions, huh? How many people did you have?
500 is awesome.
Seriously?
4.
The system doesn't it? 4 people?
4.
Or how many were on there? There were 7 at one point, and I think a couple more came.
Yeah,
in.
maybe 10. Yeah, like 10, something like that. We had I think 4.
We had a good PSW process.
Yeah.
For sure. We had a lot of PSW people, St. Louis people, and San Diego Summer Project people.
They saw you were on it, didn't they?
They totally, that's exactly what happened. So I don't know how many we had, but we had kind of a lot. So.
How'd it go?
It's just a lot of talking.
You actually got tired of talking.
Oh man, seriously, I handed the earbuds to Hillary at one point and